Hey everybody, what's happening? What's happening today is I wanted to take two pistols that are probably two of the most popular compact, subcompact handguns right now, and just do a quick comparison between the two of them. Maybe you're looking at one of these two to get to carry with your CCW permit or carry concealed, and given their popularity, I thought these two would be a great choice. So let's get right into it. They both have been safety checked. Guns are empty. There's no bullets in the magazine. I'll get that out of the way there. So there you go. So what we're looking at first here is the M&P Shield in 9mm. And just got this in, my Glock 19. I've actually been waiting since mid-December. And here we are last week of March 2013, Ohio. And literally just came in Monday. So we'll take a look at both of these guys, and again, I think probably two of the most popular, most well-desired handguns on the market. Obviously, Glock is extremely famous. And this Shield, I don't know of a gun shop around here that has a Shield in stock. So let's start with the Shield. The Shield obviously is one of its big selling features. It is very, very thin. It is very thin. It is less than an inch in width, and that thickness or thinness continues all the way on up. And I still haven't done anything about my sight yet there. I blew my sight off at the range, but very, very nice gun, very easy to shoot, very easy to carry. It does have a manual safety as well as a trigger safety on it, and the capacity is 8+1. This gun does come with two magazines. You get the 8+1 with the extended floor plate deal, which is how I carry it. Or you get a flat floor plate, which is 7 rounds in the magazine and 1 in the chamber. So it's either 8+1 or 7+1. And you're running a 3-dot, what used to be a 3-dot sight system on it. So if you're familiar with the M&P line, this is the M&P line. I mean, it's has a lot of the same features, with the exception of the interchangeable back straps. These back straps are fixed, so you cannot change those. Okay, now on to the Glock 19. Glock 19 is probably the most sought after and owned Glock. Kind of the field goal, football goal sighting system there. Obviously, their reputation and their reliability are pretty much second to none. And you have a rail, if that interests you. And here's something that interests a lot of people: 15+1. So in a Glock 9mm, you are getting 15 rounds in the chamber, and 15 rounds in the magazine, 1 in the chamber. So 16 versus 9. So if round count or capacity is a deal breaker to you or a big concern, that's something to take a look at. Now we look at the thinness, and it's pretty obvious, isn't it? The Shield is on the right, Glock's on the left, and the Shield just has, I mean, it's almost half the width of the Glock. They are both striker-fired guns. This is also going to be a big deal, especially if you're not already carrying and you're going to start carrying. The Glock is much longer. And it's also heavier. You got a big heavy slide. Obviously the frame's polymer, but got a big heavy slide, and they've really done a nice job with the Smith, really keeping it streamlined. So your safety, I know we talked about it on the Shield, but your safety on the Glock is right here on the trigger, which is not really a safety per se. I mean, the gun can't be fired unless you depress that. But your biggest safety is between your ears. I mean, the safety you have is your brain, and you should use it. This one does not have a manual safety, in other words, so this one does. There's also not really there's no loaded chamber indicator on the Glock. This one has a small window at the top where you can kind of look down and, see brass in there. So if you're thinking about maybe purchasing your first gun and you're not sure which one to get, I can tell you, first of all, they're both excellent choices. I can tell you from close to 6 months now carrying the Shield that it is very, very comfortable to carry. It is very thin. It is lightweight. You have decent round capacity with 8+1 and the extended magazine. 7+1 in the flat floor plate deal. It's obviously the guns are accurate. It just depends on how well you shoot, but the Shield is a very good shooter. Obviously in 9mm you're not going to have a whole lot of recoil. And then the other thing is price point. If you take a look at width and height, which we looked at. I don't think we looked at height. And you can't see it probably from the view of the camera, but they are identical in height. They're absolutely identical in height. So you take a look at height, you take a look at length, you take a look at weight, you take a look at round capacity, and then the obvious thing, or maybe it's the very first one that concerns you, is cost. Right now, everything's overinflated. Just crazy astronomical prices right now because of what happened recently with Sandy Hook and everything else. Your issue now is not only the cost, the price of the item, but also the availability of the item. I just told you when I opened up that on the Glock 19, I ordered it in December, mid-December, and I just got it. So, we're 3 months, 3.5, however you want to look at it, 3.5 months into waiting just for a Glock. When, before all this stuff happened, you could go anywhere and get a Glock. Same thing with Shield. The Shield they are very, very hard to find. And the ones that I'm finding are, first of all, you find the 40s before you find the 9s. And obviously the 9mm is the most desired. And so you're finding the 40s, you're not finding the 9s. The 40s you are finding are $600. And this is a $450 gun. So, the Glocks that you're finding, if you can find them, they're $600-700 for a Glock. So if you're only looking at it from a cost perspective in a normal everyday scenario without overinflated prices, you're looking $450, $430 on the Shield, and then on the Glock, you're looking $519, $500, somewhere between $500 and $530, something like that. So there's your cost parameters. The availability is something that no one knows right now. I mean, when they get them in, they get them in. So you might be forced to take, if you're wanting something quick, you might be forced to just kind of settle with something that may not be your first choice. It might be your second or third. As far as reliability and accuracy, I think we all know that Smith & Wesson and Glock are probably two of the best manufacturers when it comes to reputation and reliability. When you're talking about accuracy and dependability of the guns. First of all, I don't think you can go wrong with either one. Second of all, if you can find either one, I'd buy them because you can't find them right now. And thirdly, when it comes to actually carrying a gun or choosing between one of these two to carry, I'm probably going to lean more towards the Shield just because of the comfort aspect of it. You're riding in a car. You don't want your pants being pulled down by something heavy or heavier. I don't know. Maybe I'm a little biased because I've been carrying the Shield for so long now. But the Glock's a great gun. I carried, my Glock 23 for a long time, and I just got this 19, so pretty much the same gun, but and pretty much the same weight. So I would say probably with comfort, a lot of it depends on your holster. So make sure that whatever gun you buy, even if it's not one of these two, make sure you really take your time and find a really good holster, because that can make the difference, right there. If you bought a $20 throwaway holster off eBay, well, it's probably not going to be the greatest thing to wear. You get what you pay for $20. Now you spend, 50 or 60, get yourself a nice holster. The gun's going to be that much more comfortable to carry. There's some things that the holster can't take away from, and that's weight and, and size, dimensions. But it can make things a little bit more user-friendly. You can carry a 1911 inside the waistband and get away with it and be fine if you have the right holster. So just want to bring these two guns to you today. Again, the Glock 19. I know I say a lot. I'm not sure why. So the Glock 19, beautiful gun. Certainly could be considered a carry gun if you're in the market for one. And then obviously the Smith & Wesson Shield. Two very, very popular guns. Not real far off in price. It's not like you're talking, $1,000 and $400. They're within $100 of each other if you can find them. So I think if you were to find either one of these guns, you should be hard pressed not to buy whichever one you found. You're going to be happy with either one. They're just different benefits and aspects of one that you don't get with the other. This one you get a lower round count. This one you get a higher round count. This one costs more than this one. Just real quick. This one has a manual safety. Some people, that just infuriates them to have a manual safety on a gun, even though they may or may not use it. This one does not have a manual safety. This is a Glock. Some people just swear by Glock. So it's all up to you. But in my opinion, when it comes to carrying these guns, this gun, the M&P Shield, by far is a dream to carry, especially with the holster that I have, which is a Nate Squared Tactical holster. So anyway, I hope that helps somebody. I wanted to bring both of them to you today. It is a little eye candy for you. Just got the Glock 19, so wanted to get him out there and kind of put him with the Shield. And maybe because of the popularity of these two guns, maybe this video will help somebody. So if you guys have any questions, let me know, and thanks for watching.